Hey Falcon fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Atlanta Falcons Today. We're going to jump in the latest Falcons news and rumors, including trading for maybe a wide receiver, drafting Malik Willis, and a new linebacker they just signed. First, though, we're going to jump into a mailbag video later on this week. So, want to be a part of our mailbag video? Very simple. Be a subscriber down below by hitting the red button. And in the comment section right now, use the hashtag Falcons. Ask any sort of question that you want, and you might get your question answered by one of us here at Chat Sports. All right, so jump to the latest Falcons news and rumors. Let's begin with trading for a wide receiver. Now, wide receiver went from being something the Falcons really always had great ones for the past couple of years to suddenly they have the worst wide receiving core in the National Football League. And I don't mean that lightly. Like, they have the worst wide receiving core in the NFL right now out of all 32 teams. And so whenever a wide receiver is brought up, whether it's the draft, free agency, or in our case, a trade today, they're immediately linked with the Atlanta Falcons. And so here comes DK Metcalf. So, it was reported a couple of weeks ago that the Falcons, or the Seattle Seahawks, were not going to trade DK Metcalf. Like, we're keeping Metcalf, that's it. And then ESPN's Jeremy Fowler comes out with a report on ESPN and an ensuing tweet a couple of days ago saying that for the right price, DK Metcalf can be yours. He can be had by a team who wants to go ahead and trade the right price. So instead of seemingly staying in Seattle, Metcalf remains in the market. Now, Metcalf refuted that on Twitter, saying that that's news to me, but that's what NFL teams and players do. There's a lot of smoke out there, but it's very clear that for the right price, you could go ahead and trade for DK Metcalf. Now, this all sounds great, but then you talk about Tyreek Hill and the implications of what his trade has done to Metcalf's market, and things get very, very scary. So Metcalf, of course, he's 5 years younger than Tyreek Hill. He has more size than Tyreek Hill. He's very, very fast. Not saying he's better than Tyreek Hill, but he's someone you definitely would want to add to your football team if you're not worried about, or if you are worried about age. You want young players. Metcalf fits that bill. An elite receiver, one of the top ones in the league, and yada, yada, yada. We know how good he is. The problem that I have with an idea of trading for Metcalf is, what are you giving up? Like, look what the Dolphins gave up for Tyreek Hill. Again, a better player than Metcalf, but how much better is he really? And now that there's a market set out there for trading for a star wide receiver, what would Metcalf and the Seattle Seahawks demand in terms of a trade? You gotta remember, the Chiefs gave up a first-round draft pick. The Dolphins gave up a 2022 first, a 2022 second, a 2022 fourth, a 2023 fourth, and a 2023 sixth. That's 5 picks for a wide receiver. 5. You know what Atlanta doesn't have a lot of right now? Draft picks. You know what Atlanta needs to have a lot of right now? Draft picks. Like, trading for Metcalf, it will cost too much. It's too expensive to do so. Now, I've heard the rumor saying, well, what about just number 8 overall straight up? That's a lot higher up than number 29 overall the Chiefs gave up. Maybe, but you're still passing up on a much cheaper rookie wide receiver. And you gotta remember, even if you don't want a wide receiver at number 8 overall, if they took Garrett Wilson or Chris Olave or Drake London, he's on a rookie contract for the next 4 years, whereas Metcalf needs money and is going to want another contract here pretty soon. Or you pass up on the ability to draft a quarterback or a pass rusher. You give away your first-round leverage. Trading back is no longer a possibility. I like Metcalf, and he would be a great addition to the Atlanta Falcons, who are trying to rebuild. He's a young player, an elite player at his position, but the price is just too much, and for that reason, as they say on Shark Tank, I'm out on trading for DK Metcalf. Now, I'll ask you guys down below, would you trade number 8 overall for DK Metcalf? If you would, type Y down below for yes. If you would not, like me, go down below and type N down below for no. Jump into some more news and rumors here in just 1 second. First, though, make sure you guys are subscribed for the latest, because if they were to make a trade for DK Metcalf, or if they were to trade back in the draft or up in the draft, or there's rumors of this guy or that guy, we cover it all here on the channel. So if you like the Atlanta Falcons, you like what we do here on YouTube, you like a nice condensed report in less than 10 minutes, go down below and subscribe to help us grow the channel. Speaking of the latest news, how about this? The Atlanta Falcons are hosting Liberty Quarterback Malik Willis on a pre-draft visit this week in the ATL. Now, this isn't necessarily a massive shock. They're obviously going to meet with a lot of quarterbacks, and Willis himself has already met with the Steelers and the Giants, the Titans, and the Saints, and he has a visit with the Panthers, I think, coming up with Atlanta's visit as well. So he's going all the way around. But the whole Malik Willis to the Atlanta Falcons continues to gain steam, and Peter King, for all of everything that Peter King's worth, went ahead and mocked Malik Willis, number 8 overall, to the Atlanta Falcons in his latest mock draft. I like Peter King, too. He has some interesting tweets, but a nice guy. I met him in person at Falcons training camp a couple of years ago, and he does a good job covering the National Football League overall. Here is Peter King's write-up on the Falcons potentially taking Willis at number 8. Quote, lots to be concerned about here because Willis needs a redshirt year under a smart quarterback coach like Arthur Smith, and he needs to be schooled in working his progressions most importantly. But Smith is a patient teacher, and he won't need to play this year with Marcus Mariota in the saddle for at least 2022. Something about Willis's fit. He's a local kid from Roswell High, 23 minutes from downtown Atlanta. Teammates love him, very positive, and he has a big arm, end quote. So, again, this is seemingly gaining steam. I think right now we're torn between wide receiver, pass rusher, and Malik Willis at number 8 overall, and that seems to be the one quarterback that most Falcon fans want. Just for your intrigue, here's the rest of Peter King's top 10. I think this is a pretty darn good indication of what it might look like. Hutchinson 1. Detroit takes Trayvon Walker, the UGA pass rusher who's rocketing up draft boards right now. Houston Texans take Evan Neal. Sauce Gardner to the Jets. Ekwonu to the Giants there at number 5. And then Peter King has Carolina passing on Malik Willis, taking Pickett because Pickett's more pro-ready, and Carolina and Matt Rule are desperate for a starting quarterback. The Chargers traded up in this one with the Giants for Charles Cross. Falcons, there you go, Malik Willis. Seattle takes Stingley, and the Jets take Thibodeau. And so there you see the Falcons passing up on a cornerback, which they don't really need anymore because of the Casey Hayward signing, but Kayvon Thibodeau, which is a really big one there because I would very much be intrigued by taking him at number 8 overall to help solve the pass rush issues. So either way, Willis is gaining steam. He's meeting with the Atlanta Falcons, and honestly, Arthur Smith now has a blank sheet and he has a clean slate. And getting Mariota, as Peter King said, allows him to take any quarterback he wants, and you don't start him right away. You can wait very patiently and then insert him in 2023. But the real question is, and we'll end this segment on this, would you rather have Malik Willis or Kayvon Thibodeau at number 8? And Peter King's mock draft, they're both available. Take your pick. Type W down below for Willis, type T down below for Thibodeau. I'm curious to see where Falcon fans are at on that poll. All right, we'll get into the Rayshawn Evans signing in just 1 second. First, be sure to go ahead and bet on maybe the Masters. You live in Georgia, you go to the Masters this week, you can bet on who wins. Tiger says he's going to play. It's going to be crazy up there on Thursday. Chatsports.com/bet. That promo code is Falcons125 if you want to use our friends at BetUS. Gives you a 125% deposit bonus whenever you first sign up. And it's not just NFL betting. Like I said, Masters bets are up there. You could have bet on March Madness, which ended on Monday. Obviously, baseball coming up with the Atlanta Braves and that incredible lineup. I mean, a lot of things to bet on. Do with our friends at BetUS. Chatsports.com/bet. That promo code is Falcons125. Quickly here, we end on the Rayshawn Evans signing. Atlanta bringing in another defensive player on a 1-year deal with ties to Arthur Smith. This is what they've done. Cheap deal, nothing crazy here, not going to break the bank, but you basically sign a starting linebacker, or at the worst, a depth linebacker piece, but I think he probably will start at some point. Former first-round draft pick, connections to Arthur Smith, and this to me was a no-brainer, and compounds on top of what has been a very impressive offseason, minus, of course, the drama of the Matt Ryan trade. Here was the Falcoholic on Evans. Good write-up here. Quote, Evans is an obvious fit for Dean Pease defense, as he played under him in Tennessee from 2018 to 2019. 6'2", 232, he had size, physicality, plenty of starting experience to the linebacker group. He figures to compete with third-year player Michael Walker for the starting job. Opposite Deion Jones this offseason, and would almost certainly be in line to start should Jones end up traded after June 1st, end quote. So you bring in depth, and I think this adds a little more fuel to the fire, potentially the trade that could result in Deion Jones leaving the Atlanta Falcons, which would be a post-June 1st trade. You could trade him before then just to make it official, but you can't really get the compensation until after June 1st, which I think could happen, and obviously if it does, we'll cover it, but June is a couple of months away. So the linebacker depth chart gets a little better, and the overall offseason for the Falcons continues to look strong. I think Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot have done a great job. You just have to now nail the draft. You need at least 2 or 3 starters to come out of your 8 or 9 draft picks this year. You can't mess up number 8 overall. You got to nail your second-round draft picks, and if they do that, this team is not going to be as bad as people think. If they fail at it, then you're looking at another losing season and more empty seats at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. All right, ultimately today on our Atlanta Falcons news and rumor video. Be sure to subscribe down below for the latest and greatest content here on the channel. Mailbag video happening later on this week. So go ahead and down below, use the hashtag Falcons to get your question asked and answered. Again, ultimately today, Thomas Mott signing off. Enjoy the rest of your day.